beach volleyball. Give us a few stats and details, starting with Kelly Claes, Dane.
Yeah, Kelly Claes, she's something special. One of the best blockers that you'll see out there. 23 years of age at 6'2". She is really physically active and very, very physically strong. A force at the net. She was going to have to win that net battle to be successful. Her partner there is Sarah Sponcil, one of the best defensive players you will see. She's 5'10", 22 years of age, just less than 60 days out of her collegiate career where she won a national championship. In fact, back-to-back for the UCLA Bruins. On the other side of the net, 29-year-old Chantal Laboreur. She's got a couple of victories under her belt with her former partner Julia Sude. One in Porridge, Croatia, and then just last year in Stade. So they were winning the big ones. She knows how to win the major series 5-star events. Her partner, Sandra Ittlinger, 25 years of age, and she has had a spectacular event so far. Both of these teams are 2-1 coming out of pool play. Now they face one another in the knockout round. Win and advance, lose and go home.
So our second referee, Huang Lijun of China, just checking that the RTBS, real-time body sensors, are all switched on and working correctly. It's a fascinating piece of modern technology that gives us a real insight into how the performance of the 4 athletes out on the Red Bull Beach Arena are performing. But for now, Claes blocks for the USA, and Sponcil is a right-handed defensive player. Germany have won the toss and have put the USA in to serve. Sponcil gets this elimination round underway. Ooh, a creative, cheeky little opening point on the board for the USA. Nice play from Kelly Claes, already showing that that all-important court vision is there, Dane.
And these little broken plays where you got your back to the net, those are the plays that Sponcil and Claes are going to have to win if you're going to beat this German duo. We've seen so many German teams come on center court and play well, but if you got a wall up at the net like that, Kelly Claes, a real fast start here in this round of 32.
Well, it's a great start for Kelly Claes. 2 points from 2 serves from her partner, Sarah Sponcil. And here's the third on the cards for the USA. There's the set, Laboreur on the attack, over the top of the block, but it looks like the ball is good. Touch it looked like on the block from Claes. So Germany score their first point, but that's a good confident start from the Americans. Just a little kiss on the blue tape means the ball is good. This is Chantal Laboreur, as Dane was explaining, 6 years the partner of Julia Sude. A lot of the German aficionados very upset to see that partnership split up. Oh, there's a nice strike of the ball. Powerful. And with perfect timing. Score's tied at 2 each.
Real smart play here by Laboreur. She gets in, gets her feet under the ball, and just crushes it cross court. She is so physically gifted. Really hits a heavy ball, especially in transition. That is what has made her so effective.
Claes just takes a step across to work the service out. It means that she can attack, and that's another good strike of the ball from the 23-year-old out of Fullerton in California.
Getting out of a little trouble. That pass off the net, Sponcil puts it perfectly. You know, Sarah Sponcil, known as one of the best setters. She's got some of the best hands on the beach, so look for her to put Kelly Claes in the perfect spot.
Well, you called it right on cue. What a spectacular receive there from Sponcil. A little spin to go with it, and then up at the net to put the ball away.
Quick arm swing. She knows how to get that ball to the sand, and she's very fiery. Sarah Sponcil, just 22 years of age, but playing at an extremely high level.
It's another good shot, a cut shot on the ball, this time coming from the German number 2, Sarah Ittlinger. She's been on the World Tour since 2014, 3 different partners. no shortage of confidence there from Ittlinger. Here she is with service for Germany. Technically, she's the blocker for the Europeans. Kelly Claes has had a great start to this opening set. She can do no wrong at the moment. The break advantage back with the USA. 2 clear at 5-3.
Kelly Claes, good contact, good rotation on the ball, getting it down to the sand quickly. You mentioned Chantal Laboreur and Julia Sude playing for 6 years together, and this new partnership, their best finish, a 9th in Itapema, Brazil. So this is German duo trying to put it together at the right time here in the World Championships. Ittlinger with a little joust and press out of bounds. This is played perfectly. This is how you tool the block. Push into it and wipe it out of bounds. Nothing Kelly Claes could do right there, and great example of what you do with a tight set.
Great block from Kelly Claes again.
Little fire there out of Kelly Claes. This little stab, see this right-handed move right there, and it shanks over. Sponcil betters the ball right there. Those little plays, they have to make sure that they clean up. She makes up with it with a nice stuff block, but you want to play the ball with 2 hands when you can, control it so that you keep in rhythm.
Good service right to the middle of the 2 players. This is Ittlinger for Germany. Sponcil just moving forwards as the ball was played deep to the far right of the court.
Sponcil had the read on it, but the ball was a little too deep. We call that taking too shallow of a line into your defensive spot. Got caught up high.
Ittlinger puts that serve out of play. 7-5 to the USA. Let's not forget that the Germans are seeded 1 in this tournament, and the USA just 16. I'm sure you'll agree, the American players holding their own. It's a good save from Sponcil. Oh! That was unfortunate for Kelly Claes. If it had fallen the German side of the net, it would have been the touch of the day, but not quite enough push on the ball. That's really unlucky.
Yeah, those little plays, if Kelly Claes can clean that up, those little plays with her touch, she will be unstoppable, because we know when she brings the hammer down, she can really crush the ball. Look at this dig by Laboreur.
Well, that was lucky. I'm not sure Ittlinger's pass of the ball was exactly within the rule book there. And at one point I thought that ball had hit the sand first, but that's definitely not the case.
Nice up. Looks like a decent set, and you see that kind of patented signature move by Laboreur, always putting that fist in the air as that ball hits the ground.
Scores are all tied at 7-all. Sponcil with a good serve receive on the attack now. Beautiful block. Ittlinger doing very well at the net.
Ittlinger getting her feet right underneath as she makes a lateral move, pressing over. She still had about a gap of 6 inches between herself and the net, but she still is able to make the block. Sponcil, how about the pokey cut shot, we'll call that right there. Close-knuckled, really accurate, just a real cerebral player, Sarah Sponcil, and a very fiery player. Every time she gets out there, she's learning a little bit more, but I'll tell you, she is a tenacious competitor.
And here's her partner, Kelly Claes. Good play from Ittlinger, taking the strike on 2 rather than the 3rd contact.
Ittlinger really has been making some smart plays throughout this tournament. Having a great time. I got to speak with her earlier in the week, and she said it is such a joy to play on center court.
Germany can do no wrong at the moment. I'm not sure whether the USA should consider a timeout.
Yeah, I think we're close enough to the technical timeout. If Germany scores 1 more, you might want to think about it. But if you can side out, put the ball away here, you're just looking at a 1-point game.
They heard you, Dane. Lovely shot from Sarah Sponcil. Important side out that for the American duo. 19 total point score on the board. We take the halfway tech timeout with a total of 21. What the USA are looking to do now is score on their service. Mission accomplished. Beautiful shot there from Kelly Claes. No messing about there whatsoever.
And that all started with a beautiful little jump float serve by Sarah Sponcil. Got the Germans in trouble. They overpass, and smart by Kelly to wait, be patient, and then crush it.
Good deep court shot from Laboreur to give Germany the advantage at the halfway point in the opening set. 11 points to 10, but the German #1 seeds have been pushed and pushed to the limit by this talented new American team. Sarah Sponcil in the slow-mo here, making her World Championship debut. I think it's fair to say, Dane, that Sponcil playing like a seasoned pro out there at the moment. Really good start for the Americans. As you said earlier, both of these two teams coming out 2-1 in their pool play. But the Americans can continue to hold their heads high. They still may be able to take this first set. There's a good shot of Sarah Ittlinger to the right of your screens. Ittlinger, 25-year-old from Munich. I think the key thing to this duo, Dane, is that they've only been playing together since April. Just 4 months to learn your partner inside and out. And that could be the Achilles heel that the Americans may be able to focus on and take this match.
Yeah, it really is a new team, but Laboreur, a 2008 under-19 world champion, she's played in the last 2 editions of this World Championships with her former partner finishing 17th in The Hague in 2015 and 5th in Vienna. So her and Julia Sude were, you know, I think a lot of people kind of shaking their head on that partnership breaking up. I think they were the #3 team in the world at the time, and sure, they've only won 2 events, but they've been big events, and they know how to make it happen. They have certain times when they go out that they're unstoppable. And so, anyways, that partnership is finished. Laboreur with Ittlinger, and Julia Sude is with Carla Borger, who is really playing some fantastic defense throughout.
Yeah, Sude and Borger won their elimination match 2-1 on center court just a few moments ago here in the Rebel Beach Arena.
Look at Kelly Claes. As a blocker, she is so active, so aggressive, gets over, locks the arms out, pushes, and we're all tied up at 12. Oh, just.
Well, that was a brave leave by Ittlinger. She could have been left with egg on her face there, but fortunately for the German, just a couple of centimeters past the baseline. Remember, it's rally point score game beach volleyball, whether you're serving or receiving. You score a point if you get the ball down on the opponent's sand within the court. This is going to be close, Dane. 13 all. Trading side outs here, both the German and the North Americans. Kelly Claes with a good serve.
Nice little shot over the block. Ittlinger knows that Kelly Claes has been getting her hands on a lot of hits. And so what does she do? She rolls it over the top. Kelly nearly turns and gets this up, but the shot just out of reach.
Good shot.
Trouble right there. You know, it looked like the Americans got themselves in trouble by running a wide set to the outside, and it was just eaten up by Chantal Laboreur, and then she converts it with a little poke shot, a drop shot in front of the defender Sponcil, who was sliding in. You got to be careful with 2-on-2 beach volleyball. Sometimes you'll see teams run maybe too complex of an offense. It'll put them in a precarious situation. I think that was the case on the last play for the Americans.
Ittlinger with Germany. Serves Sponcil. Over on 2 from Kelly Claes. Is covered by Laboreur. They're in trouble again, the Americans here. And the flag stays down. The point goes to Germany. And they are now 3 clear. We're in the business end of the opening set. And they're starting to struggle just a little here, Team USA.
Poke shot just on the outside of the line. Laboreur, once again, that veteran experience getting it done. And I question the over on 2 by Kelly Claes in the last play. It looked like it was almost predetermined that she was gonna make it happen, and there's a second one. So decisions have been a huge hurdle and a roadblock for this squad, who is very physically talented.
The USA call their timeout, understandably so. A very fast point run on the side of Germany. Now the USA are trailing by 4 points. If you're new to the world of beach volleyball, in the first and second set, we're heading for 21, as long as you're 2 points clear. But look at that 4-point run for the Germans, and it came so quickly. But out of those 4 points, 3 were errors from the USA, Dane, and that's what needs to be tidied up right now.
Unforced errors, and also the decision, like I said, going over on a second contact that gets dug, that doesn't go in the unforced error category. It's just that the Germans won the rally based on a decision that was made. You got to make smart decisions. You got to have low unforced errors, and the third thing, very important, you cannot let your opponent go on runs of points, and that's exactly what's happened here. We're deadlocked at 13 apiece. All of a sudden, 17-13, and Germany has done the damage. Now they just need to side out for 4 consecutive times here, and they will be at 21.
Ittlinger with the service, targeting Kelly Claes. Kelly Claes is up with the German. Well, that justifies the call of the timeout, if nothing else. It's a big point on the board for the USA, but still 3 behind Germany. They're not there yet, but it's a step in the right direction.
Really like that shot by Claes. Very efficient with her left hand.
Good communication from the Germans. Links, put it left. And Laboreur does exactly as her partner asks of her. And at 18-14, as Dana's already pointed out, the Germans can afford to play a side-out game now and still take this first set comfortably. Sponcil on the serve. Receive. Sponcil puts it away.
Really a heavy hit down the line as Laboreur slides in. Not ready for this kind of heat coming at her. Catches her high on her left shoulder right there. And that's how you side out.
Kelly Claes serving Germany. Good cover from Sponcil. Here's a chance for the USA. Oh, and the referee seen enough there.
What the ref is calling is over the net on Kelly Claes. Let's take a look. That ball is live right there. This one's tight. This is where, oh, the open hand I think he called. You cannot push with an open hand. Kelly Claes, look at the open fingers. She grabs the ball, pushes forward, and she runs into the net there. So open hand violation. You got to close the fist with the knuckles. Here you see it again, fingers wide open. She tries to push. Now, if the blocker touches the ball simultaneously, that's what's called the joust. That didn't happen on that play.
Sponcil on the serve receive. Now she attacks for the USA. Gets a good cut on the ball. Nice angle. Big side out that for the USA. If Germany were successful with that serve, they would have gone set points. They get to live for another couple of plays here. Maybe dig themselves out of this hole, Team USA. Sponcil will go to the back of the American court now to serve. Good little jump float. Good play. Well, this time the luck is on the side of Kelly Claes. 2 stabs at the ball take the USA, just 2 short of Germany.
Beautiful serve, the bottom drops out of it, and Ittlinger tries to go over Claes. Claes is getting her hands on just about every single hit. She makes that double clutch move with the left, and Germany is not ready. And the United States just a couple points behind after making some interesting decisions and some unforced errors. So they've gotten themselves right back in it. If they didn't have that streak of 4 points that Germany stepped up their game, then this thing would be pretty tight. It'll be interesting how it ends. No team really has taken a lot of risks on the service line. We haven't seen any aces as of yet, but at the net, Kelly Claes has asserted herself, but it's Germany with that 2-point lead.
Germany called a timeout, just wanting to try and break that rhythm of the American team. Chantal Laboreur to the left of your screens, Ittlinger to the right. Out come Germany, playing in their traditional yellow and black vests. Red, white and blue for the USA. Sarah Sponcil will serve for the Americans. And again, Team USA need to score on their serve as well as their side-out game to stay in this opening set. Ittlinger on the attack for Germany. Good cover from Sponcil. Kelly Claes goes over on 2, and it is effective. Now Germany just 1 point off. Timeout does not work for Germany.
Now here's a nice decision. Feet under the ball. She takes a look at the defense, sees the open court and execute rather than guess.
Another good service from Sponcil. That's a good strike of the ball from Ittlinger. Set point for Germany.
Ittlinger's really been solid here in this first set. The Americans have tried to test her.
Laboreur. Serves Sponcil. Kelly Hayes goes over on 2, but it's covered by Laboreur. Laboreur puts the ball out of play. Well, that was a lucky escape for the Americans.
Not sure why you want to go over on 2 in that situation. Only if your partner might be struggling would you do so.
Oh, and it's all over. Such a shame for the Americans, having fought so bravely. Lose it on a service error. 21-19 to Germany in the opening set.
Well, those last couple of plays, you just kind of shake your head, right? The over on 2, and then you have some momentum still, but you got to keep this ball in the court. Germany was feeling a little pressure. They had called the timeout. The momentum was on the side of the Americans, and then all they have to do is watch this thing float out for the 21st point. So I think the Americans had their opportunities in set number 1. They just could not capitalize. And the Germans stepping up as we look at the match statistics here. 3-1 in blocks for the Americans, 7-65 in terms of side-out percentage for the Germans. No aces on the board, kills about even, and unforced errors. That was a problem for the Americans. They're leading that category 3-1. So let's see if they can clean it up in the second set as we take a look at our statistics from the Hawkeye system. Germany's serve placement. Well, where are they going? 59% to the right side, Sponcil. And I think she's done a pretty good job siding out. I'd like to see Kelly Claes set her a little more, not go over on 2, but definitely the strategy of the Germans is to go at the shorter Sponcil.
Another service error from the USA. And that's a part of the game that needs to be just tightened a little. The unforced errors from the USA are being paid for dearly. The second set must be won by the American ladies if they're to take this elimination match to a third set tie break. But 2 very quick points on the board for Germany. Need to refocus here, the Americans, just looking a little deflated coming out of that beating in the first set.
Yeah, they just barely lost that first set, and you know, you got to keep your confidence, keep your focus. And this is a game of patience, and that's what you learn over time, that you're not going to score 5 points on one play. You got to just chip away one at a time. Laboreur is everywhere, and then she cuts it down. And right now, the Americans are reeling as the Germans really looking sharp. And as we mentioned, playing Germany on this home court is quite the task. We've seen a lot of teams fall to many German teams that have played above their average level for sure. But here's Laboreur after the dig, cuts it down, and not even the spectacular defense of Sponcil can get that shot up.
Home court advantage means an awful lot here in Hamburg. Sponcil again the target of the German serve. Sponcil puts that out of play. Poke shot cross court. Quite a way out of play, which will add to the frustration to the 22-year-old. And I think it's a fair decision by the Americans to call a timeout. Each team is allowed to call 1 30-second break per set. And the Americans going 4-0 down at the beginning of the second set here really have no choice but to burn their timeout very early on in proceedings.
Take a look at the side out percent. 71 to 57 in favor of the Germans right now. 16 as opposed to 13. The Germans leading in that kill category. And this is so far a little disappointing for the Americans. They had a really strong pool where they won a couple of matches against Russia and Colombia, and then they played the Canadians, Sarah Pavin and Melissa Humana Paredes. That one was a 16 to 18 loss in the third set, which is only to 15 points. So we were in overtime there. That could have went a different way. But now the Americans trying to recover, trying to get their first point here in this round of 32. It's a knockout round.
First point on the board for the USA. Certainly justifies the call of the timeout. Now, let's see if they can find a little bit of momentum to their game, a little bit of rhythm to their play. Kelly Claes serving Chantal Laboreur. Kelly Claes blocks Chantal Laboreur, but the ball is still up and good for Germany. Second time of asking. Great play from the American. 3 good blocks for Claes in the first set, and there another in the second.
You get to see a glimpse right there of the physicality of Kelly Claes. Look how aggressive she is as a blocker, always pushing that ball back. The Americans are going to need a few more of those plays from Kelly if they're going to turn the tide here against Germany.
Oh, that is a very good shot from Ittlinger there, my apologies. Managed to get a little bit of angle and cut on the ball.
Ittlinger with a beautiful contact on the ball. Instead of challenging Kelly, she goes around her. You don't want to go anywhere Kelly is. She'll get a hand on that.
That's a good shot from Sarah Sponcil off the hands of Ittlinger at the net.
First time for Sarah Sponcil in the World Championships. She finished 4th at the U21 Under 21 World Championships back in 2016 with Tori Van Winden, but this her first senior World Championship. Ittlinger just locked in.
Yeah.
Just, you know, she's seeing the defense. She's playing very composed, big double arm lift. Looks like she's gonna hit the ball. Then she downshifts and just cuts it cross court, really making it look easy at the moment.
Laboreur serving. Sponcil on the attack for the USA. Ittlinger's got the net covered again. And her confidence at an all-time high here, Sandra Ittlinger. Really doing no wrong.
She sees the cut shot coming. It's a pokey, and she makes a slight adjustment to her right, pushes with that right hand, and what do you know? The ball stays on the American side. 7-3 Germany.
Laboreur with the service. Kelly Claes goes over on 2. It's successful that time. I think she tried to use that tactic one too many times in the opening set. She needs to be careful that Germany don't see that as a foregone conclusion in future plays. Now that's the first error that we've seen from Ittlinger in this second set. And here's a chance for the USA to try and get back into this. Please don't forget, the Americans have to win the second set, stay in the match. They lost the first 21-19.
This is Ittlinger trying to go around Kelly Claes, and Kelly Claes' block has been solid. I think we might have a challenge for a block touch on that last hit. Didn't look like it on our game cam, but we will take a look at that Hawkeye cam. And Nick, that thing, the Hawkeye camera's 260 frames per second. But we've seen some calls on the video that are hard to determine if there's touches or not because that ball is moving so quickly. Look at that right finger. Yes, right there. The index finger just slightly got touched. And real time, I didn't think there was a touch. And I think a big surprise for everybody. The crowd loving it.
That was a very good call indeed from Germany.
It's funny, you do not catch that without that type of frame rate.
Absolutely.
It's
So
just
there's a little bit of guesswork involved from the player then, or can they see it because they're so close when they actually
a lot of
strike
times
the
you can hear it.
That's a good point.
Or you hear something, or you just sense that there was a touch.
Great hustle from Germany. Oh, and they deserve that point. Absolute commitment. Tenacious play from the Europeans. And perhaps most importantly, the scoreline. Now 5 clear of the USA in set 2.
Well, just think about it. If the United States would have won that point, it was 7-5. They lose that point, it's all of a sudden 8-4. Germany scores this, now it's 9-4, and this is getting blown out a little bit after the great drop shot. That takes a ton of skill, and the veteran Laboreur, the 29-year-old who's got 2 FIVB victories under her belt, knows exactly how to execute.
Sandra Ittlinger to serve for Germany. Serves cross court to Claes. Good shot from Sponcil. Big side out for the USA.
Now here's the big question. We've seen Claes go over on the second contact a few times, and you have to start wondering, is she making this decision herself, or is it a planned play? Because you want to keep the confidence in your partner to use those 3 contacts. And the reason I bring that up is because Germany's really honing in on that over on 2.
Ittlinger at the net can do no wrong.
Ittlinger everywhere. you want to be. Looking up at the net, composed, she waits, pushes it. Claes is there for the cover, but just ends up out of reach. A lot of the broken plays and the hustle plays are going to Germany.
Yeah.
And it's starting to really wear on the Americans.
There's an over on 2 again, read by the German team. Well, Ittlinger again makes the most of the broken play, but that over on 2 from Kelly Claes, it's just too predictable now.
And there a left hand, she tries to mix it up. Still, it does not shock Ittlinger. She puts up the same block, and it becomes the same result. And by that look right there, you can just tell Ittlinger is in the zone, just having a great time.
Laboreur with the service, serving Sponcil. Kelly Claes sets up her partner. That's a much better shot, and we hear Kelly Claes go, there we go. Let's hope that the Americans start playing more 3-contact beach volleyball.
Kelly Claes was in the 2017 Vienna World Championships with her former partner, Sarah Hughes. They finished in 9th place. Nice block right there. But it's the second effort again by Germany. That's the tough thing at this level, is that you'll block a ball. You think you got it down to the sand, and all of a sudden you have to play a second, a third, a fourth effort to get the point. You know, playing against 80% of the other teams, that ball might fall. It's not going to fall against Laboreur and Ittlinger.
That's a good word, Stain. Well, they get themselves out of trouble, but the original attacking play from the USA, over on 2 from Kelly Claes, was easily covered by the Germans. They're now expecting it on every other shot almost.
Which was wild because it was a hard hit, but easily played. We have a mishandled ball by the Germans, and so that's going to be a point for the United States. The United States needs to start playing with a sense of urgency because time is definitely running out. That looked like it was clean. I think it was this second contact right there, the overhand double contact.
Sponcil serves for the USA. Germany comfortably over the top of the block. Sarah Ittlinger, who's been brimming with confidence throughout this second set. 21 points total on the board. Technical timeout, 30-second break for both the teams. But it's the scoreline that's looking tough for the USA, having lost the first set 21-19.
A lot of blocking going on both sides of the net. Ittlinger with 4 successful blocks, 11 kills, and she has been nearly flawless this afternoon in this matchup against the United States. Kelly Claes has had a lot of success at the net as a blocker, but the United States losing those longer rallies. The second and third effort by Germany has really put them in a situation to be in control. There you look at the kcals expenditure. Looks like Claes is leading that with 361 kcals. 67 jumps for Ittlinger. She is a full-time blocker, and she's getting served quite often. There's an over on 2 that was deceptive that went down. Good timing on that one by Kelly Claes. But somehow the United States has to manufacture some points while serving. And that ball long, just a few inches. That looked almost like the serve we saw at the end of the first set.
Great cover from Laboreur. Oh, does that touch the line? Just a little too deep.
This is close, a deep kind of jumbo, rainbow pokey. Oh man, I think they might challenge. No challenge there. So ball out of bounds, point USA.
Well read by Kelly Claes there.
That was nice. That all started with the serve, the errant pass, a little too close, and Kelly Claes is gonna eat that up. Anything at the net, she has really had her way.
To dig deep now, Sponcil with the service, right to the middle of the court. And finally, a little bit of luck for the USA. Now just 2 points behind Germany. Must win this second set, the Americans.
Just a little too short for Chantal Laboreur. That thing just hung right on top of the net. So finally a break goes the way of the United States. Can they capitalize on it?
It's that over on two shot that Kelly Claes just loves, can't get enough of, but this time it works for her. I know we've been a little critical on her over on two play during this match, but right now Team USA will take anything they can get. So it looks like that a timeout has been called by Germany. And that is why 4 points in quick succession to put the USA right back into this second set. Let's try and listen in. Well, this German new team, just 4 months old, no better than ninths on the FIVB World Tour as part of their pre-World Championship preparation. But I think Jane touched on it earlier, this Red Bull Beach Arena here in Hamburg, packed with German supporters for just about every home game. And they have lifted their players beyond their level of play on the World Tour. And we're seeing it again here. Ittlinger and Laboreur still searching for their first win as a new partnership, but getting closer and closer to wrapping up this elimination match, heading into the round of 16 from here. With a 2-0 victory over the USA, unless they can pull something out here. Good play from Germany again. Celebration, emotion. 3 clear once again after the Americans working so hard to close the gap. Germany call the timeout and put points back on the board once again.
Yeah, Sarah Sponcil had an opportunity to put the ball away. The ball clipped the top of the net, slowing the ball down and making it easier for Germany to make the transition. This will come right out of the middle of the court, and that's where Sarah Sponcil can be very deadly, because she has the left angle, the right angle, short, deep, and she sees the court well there, but the United States has to strike soon.
Kelly Claes with service for the US. Laboreur steps in. Well, hits that ball hard against the block arm of Kelly Claes. It bounces out of bounds. 3-point advantage for Germany once again.
Good move, just a little bit late. Chantal Laboreur is hitting the ball before the block is formed. It goes up nicely, almost giving Sponcil time to get there, but not just yet.
Oh, service ace. And that couldn't come at a more crucial point in Germany's quest to wrap up this 2-0. Brilliant strike of the ball. Sponcil thinks it's out. Ittlinger knows it's in. 18-14. 21 is the target score. It's a wayward serve. Easy point back for the USA. Sarah Sponcil, 22-year-old from Phoenix, Arizona, with a jump float, nice and low to the feet. It's a good serve from the Americans. Good attacking play from Kelly Claes, narrowing the gap to 2. I'd say this is their last chance now, Dane, to try and take this second set, forcing the match to a third set tiebreak.
Yeah, they got to score a couple of more points here and get themselves back in, and there it is. Kelly Claes, really great lateral movement and following the ball to the outside and stuffs the ball. Kelly Claes having a discussion. I'm not sure.
We cannot talk about ball handling. If I don't call it, it's good. Ball handling, you cannot call. Get ready. No.
So Kelly Claes, I think, talking about that set, she wasn't happy with possibly, but you know what? You just won the point. You have all sorts of momentum. Don't worry about that. Just get over there and put the pressure on Germany. Keep this ball in.
Good short serve from Sponcil. Ittlinger has put that ball way too deep. It's another point. The USA have tied the scores. Now, things starting to roll America's way here. Keep this momentum going. Both teams have used up their timeouts. There'll be no stoppage of play now.
It's a big side out right there. Didn't see this American push coming. I mean, they were down 18-14.
Yeah.
The Americans ran off 4 in a row to tie it at 18 apiece by a couple of errors by Ittlinger, some good blocks by Claes, and solid D by Sponcil, but now it's crunch time. Germany up 1.
Oh, and Kelly Claes goes over on 2 again, but gets away with it. Ties the scores at 19 points all. Ittlinger. Sponcil does well to get the ball back to Claes. And Claes has put that down on the line. Brilliant stuff from the USA. It's not the most tidy. It's not the most skillful, but it's just guts and determination that are keeping the American ladies in this match.
That was a solid shot to the corner. Really a tough shot and executed well.
Well, she does it again, but it works again. The USA take the second set, 21-19, and we're going to a third set tiebreak here. Well, very good turnaround from the Americans, albeit in an unorthodox way and style of play. Another very creative over on 2 play from Kelly Claes. There's an argument to say she uses that shot a little too much, but if she's scoring points, Kelly will say you can argue as much as you like. I've got us out of the hole, we've got into the third set, and the Americans are still in this match.
Making the right decisions towards the end of that second set. And so they, fortunately for the United States, cleaned some things up. The Germans got really quiet at the end after everything going their way. 25 kills apiece, 5-4 in unforced errors. Germany leading the way there. And look at that. Side out. The percentage almost identical, 62-61. The Americans with a slight edge, but this is a very even matchup. This time let's look at where the United States has decided to serve, and Ittlinger has been getting the majority. Down the middle or right to Ittlinger, and she has had her work cut out for her. She was nearly flawless for about a set and a half, and then we saw a couple of attacking errors, and that allowed the United States to get back in the mix, and now we're in a tiebreak third set. I mean, wouldn't this be a swing of momentum if the United States could take this after really, it almost looks like Germany had dominated almost the first 2 sets until the end.
Look how hard Kelly Claes has been working. 463 kcows. Here we go with the third set tiebreak. We're heading to a total score of 15 rather than 21. Side switch on 5, but we do not get that 30-second break at the halfway point. And Germany quickly get the point on the board, trying to get the early momentum in this sprint third set.
A sharp and crisp shot to the corner.
It's Laboreur's service again, targeting Sponcil.
Another over on 2, and it goes down.
What are you going to say, Coach?
Like you said, if it's working, it looks great. It's when is too much too much? It's when the defender starts to hone in on it. And there's an over on 1, a Ludwig.
A Ludwig from Kelly Claes. I think she can hear what we're saying up here, and she's determined to prove us wrong. Spontaneity is the name of the play for Kelly Claes.
It's a gutsy shot by Kelly.
Unlucky for Sarah Sponcil there. One arm on the ball. So difficult to get control, and with such power on the shot, get the ball up into the air for your partner to pick it up. Scores are all tied at 2-all. This could go either team's way now. Ittlinger with service for Germany. On 2 again from Kelly Claes.
That looked by design. I think I heard Sponcil saying go on 2. She's trying to give her that option, and it is a lethal weapon when it is working, and it has been working as of late. Just out of reach of Chantal Laboreur. Kelly Claes has been hovering up at the net.
Good play from Sarah Sponcil. Just drops that ball short as the 2 German players are dropping off the net. Struggling for position. They're just that little bit more dynamic, a little more urgency about the play of Team USA. And that's what's getting them the reward here. The break is on the cards, 4-2 for the Americans. Sarah Sponcil serving Laboreur. Laboreur on the attack. Good cross-court shot from the German. There is Chantal with service. Jump float to Kelly Claes. There's a set from Sponcil. Now that's a good confident shot, and there's more confidence about the way that the Americans are passing the ball between each other, more confidence about their court vision as well, Dave.
Yeah, that looked like a really solid side out, passing the ball well, nice platform. And there's a good pass by Ittlinger, and now another error. So the game plan of the United States to pick on the less experienced Ittlinger, 25-year-old, less experienced than her partner, I should say, not less experienced than the Americans, but we've seen a couple of errors in the clutch here, and they go right back to her.
Good cover from Sponcil. Can she finish it now? Oh, and this time Kelly Claes pushes the ball out of play.
No, that ball's in.
Wait, hold on.
And we are having a challenge.
Challenge by Germany for ball out.
Yep, the official call was ball in, and Germany is challenging, saying that is out.
Looked out from my perspective here, Dave. That's why I called it that way.
Yeah, the initial call by the head referee, though, was inbounds, and a little back and forth between Kelly and head official Davide Crescentini. It's always good to have some nice rapport with the head official. You just never know. That ball is inbounds right there. So that was the original call. Inbounds, and it stands.
Makes a change for me to get one right as well, Dane, to be honest. But that's Vital point and a very good challenge from Germany. They maintain their 2 challenges. Oh,
that was interesting. Did the ball hit the antenna before it almost looked like it hit Sarah? Here it comes. It bounces there. And regardless, it ends up out of bounds. Oh, yeah, that ball was still in play. If it would have hit Sarah, it was still in. And every once in a while, you get kind of a goofy play like that. You think a ball's going to land, and it clips the net, throws everything off. But out of bounds for Germany, point for the United States. And Germany's going to call a timeout and talk it over. This has been a wild match. And the momentum swings have been absolutely huge. It looked like Germany was going to walk away with this thing at 18-14 in the second set. But the Americans, they had a different plan, and they sensed the urgency and really stepped up to the occasion.
it's been a fascinating match, Dan. I don't think I've seen a swing and turnaround so great in any of the matches so far at this World Championship here in Hamburg, Germany. And credit where it's due to the USA. At one point we thought this was looking like a whitewash in the second set for Germany, but not the case. And the USA really have dug deep here, surprised many, and I have to admit I'm one of the surprised. Can they hold this together now? First point back for Germany, certainly justifying the call for the timeout, the stop of play. 4-8, but we're heading to 15, remember, in the third set, not 21. So the USA still in a strong position here. Oh, a serve from Sandra Ittlinger. Couldn't have come at a more important point in the third set.
Smart serve right in the middle position. And if you're the United States right now, you have to assert yourself. Step up. You have control, so you can't allow these balls that are a little indecisive to fall. You have to play the close ones.
Ittlinger again targets Sponcil with their service. Over on 2 by Kelly Claes. Easily read by Chantal Laboreur. And Germany make the Americans play. Now Germany just 2 behind the USA.
And give a lot of credit to Germany. They've done their homework. They know about Kelly Claes going over on 2. And they just eat that one up. The United States has to stop the bleeding. 3 points scored in a row for Germany.
Sponcil on the attack. Good cover. Kelly Claes with a magnificent block.
Just when she needs it, that block really has bailed out the Americans at times to save a point. And the 3-point edge by the Americans. Here's the big extension. If she doesn't push hard on that, that ends up on the US side. So really solid press. And that is her expertise. Kelly Claes up at the net.
Sponcil. Oh, and that is a great serve. And it couldn't come at a more important point. Possibly the turning point. Sarah Sponcil takes the United States of America 4 points clear once again. And what a turnaround this would be for the USA. Ittlinger cannot contain the ball on the serve receive. Sponcil tries to do the same again, this time with a jump float. Oh, Kelly Claes puts it into her own net. Easy point back for Germany.
That
all
just
the work
keeps
has been done.
Yeah, that keeps Germany alive. That has to be executed right there. You cannot go into the net with that poke shot if you're Kelly Claes. Important side out for the Americans.
Chantal Laboreur with a service error. So Germany immediately give that point back to the USA, 4 clear. But 15 is the target score, remember. Kelly Claes to serve now for America. Lovely little float to Ittlinger. Ittlinger on the attack. Ittlinger puts that ball down to the sand.
Ittlinger bouncing back nicely right here. Good pass. She comes in aggressive, despite the fact that Claes has had a spectacular blocking match so far.
Oh, well, over on 2. Maybe we've been a little too critical for Kelly Claes' favorite shot. But right now, the American team and the American fans really don't care how they do it. They just want to see them close this out. So close between these two teams. One will stay in the competition, the other heads home. The USA have a 4-point advantage. Sponcil with the service.
Oh, what an up right there. But Ittlinger puts it away. Sponcil just sacrificing her body to get behind that one and pops it up so nicely. Here's the final put away. Kind of block push by Ittlinger.
Chantal Laboreur with service for Germany. Kelly Claes with the back set. Ittlinger. That gets a touch off the hand of Kelly Claes. Another point back on the board for Germany. They're just 2 behind the USA.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And this is going to go absolutely down to the wire. Big hit by Sponcil on the right side. Laboreur was there, but could not control it. Nice rotation on top of the ball. She's caught her high a couple of times. It's almost as if Laboreur is a little shallow in the court. It's almost as 2 prize fighters going at it, and now Germany's running out of steam.
Match point for the USA. Well, this has been swings and roundabouts from both sides of the court. But here's an opportunity for USA to close this out. Claes up at the net. The Americans go through. Remarkable performance. What a match. What a turnaround for the USA. With Germany looking dominant through the first set, America came back in the second and blazed the trail in the third to win the match. And the #1 seeds, Ittlinger and Laboreur of Germany, have been taken out of the World Championship by the 16 seed American duo of Kelly Claes and Sarah Sponcil. Brilliant play. At times, just about everybody in the stadium thought this was an easy game for the Germans, not to be. Great play from the youngsters.